Hello, health champions. Did you know that your heart is not just a muscle that pumps blood? It's the engine that keeps you alive. But what happens when the food we eat starts to weaken this engine? The truth is, many of the foods we consume daily might be doing more harm than good when it comes to heart health. From fried foods to processed meats, there are a number of toxic foods that increase the risk of heart disease, stroke, and high blood pressure. The good news is, you have the power to protect your heart by making better food choices. In today's video, I'll be breaking down the top 5 foods that you should avoid to keep your heart healthy and strong. These foods can contribute to high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and other heart-related problems. But don't worry, I'll also give you healthier alternatives to keep your heart pumping for years to come. Ready to give your heart some love? Let's dive in. Part 1. Why heart health matters. Before we start talking about the foods, let's take a moment to understand why heart health is so important. Your heart is the core of your body's circulation system. It pumps blood, delivers oxygen and nutrients to every organ, and helps remove waste products from your body. When your heart isn't working at full capacity, you're more likely to experience high blood pressure, high cholesterol, fatigue, and increased risk of heart attacks and strokes. But here's the thing, heart disease is not something that happens overnight. It's often the result of poor lifestyle choices, including a diet full of unhealthy foods. So, it's vital to choose the right foods to keep your heart in top shape. Now, let's look at the top 5 worst foods for your heart. Part 2. The top 5 worst foods for your heart health. 1. Fried foods loaded with trans fats. Why it's harmful. Fried foods are among the worst offenders when it comes to heart health. Think about French fries, fried chicken, and fried snacks. These foods are typically cooked in vegetable oils that are high in trans fats, a type of fat that is extremely damaging to your heart. How it harms your heart. Trans fats increase bad cholesterol LDL levels while lowering your good cholesterol HDL, creating an environment where arteries become clogged and blood flow is restricted. Over time, the buildup of plaque in your arteries can lead to arterial blockages, resulting in heart disease, high blood pressure, and even heart attacks. How to reduce the harm. Limit your intake of fried foods and opt for healthier cooking methods like baking, grilling, or steaming. Use heart-healthy oils like olive oil or avocado oil, which are rich in monounsaturated fats that help lower LDL cholesterol. 2. Processed meats full of saturated fats and sodium. Why it's harmful. Processed meats like bacon, sausage, hot dogs, and deli meats are packed with saturated fats, sodium, and preservatives that are not only bad for your heart but also for your overall health. The sodium in processed meats can contribute to high blood pressure, which is a major risk factor for heart disease. How it harms your heart. Saturated fats raise LDL cholesterol levels, leading to plaque formation in the arteries and increasing the risk of coronary artery disease. Excessive sodium can lead to fluid retention, increasing your blood pressure and causing your heart to work harder, which can result in heart failure. How to reduce the harm. Choose lean meats like chicken or turkey and focus on plant-based proteins like beans, lentils, and tofu. Reduce processed meat consumption and opt for fresh, unprocessed cuts of meat to control the amount of saturated fat and sodium you are consuming. 3. Sugary beverages, soda, sweetened juices, and energy drinks. Why it's harmful. Sugary beverages are one of the biggest contributors to heart disease. Soda, sweetened juices, and energy drinks are packed with added sugars that can significantly increase the risk of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and obesity, all of which are bad for your heart. How it harms your heart. Excess sugar leads to inflammation, which can damage the arteries and increase fat accumulation around your heart. Added sugars raise blood glucose levels and lead to insulin resistance, a condition where the body's cells are unable to properly absorb glucose, resulting in increased fat storage and higher risk of heart disease. How to reduce the harm. Replace sugary drinks with water. unsweetened herbal teas, or sparkling water. If you want something sweet, opt for smoothies made with whole fruits, which provide fiber and essential nutrients for heart health. 4. Refined carbohydrates, white bread, pasta, pastries. Why it's harmful. Refined carbohydrates such as white bread, white pasta, and pastries are high in refined sugar and lack the fiber that helps regulate blood sugar levels. These foods are processed to remove much of their natural nutrients and are quickly absorbed into the bloodstream, causing spikes in blood sugar that damage the vascular system and increase the risk of heart disease. How it harms your heart. Refined carbs contribute to insulin resistance, which makes it harder for your body to regulate blood sugar. They also increase inflammation in the body, which can damage arteries and increase the risk of heart attacks. How to reduce the harm. Opt for whole grains like brown rice, quinoa, and whole wheat bread instead of refined carbs. Eat fiber-rich foods to help control blood sugar levels and reduce inflammation. 5. High-sodium snacks, chips, crackers, pretzels. Why it's harmful. High-sodium snacks like chips, pretzels, and processed crackers are loaded with salt, which can lead to high blood pressure and increase the risk of heart disease. These foods also tend to be high in unhealthy fats, which contribute to the clogging of arteries and increase LDL cholesterol levels. How it harms your heart. Sodium causes the body to retain water, which increases blood pressure, placing unnecessary strain on the heart. Over time, excessive sodium intake can lead to heart failure, especially if you already have other heart conditions. How to reduce the harm. Cut back on salty snacks and choose healthy alternatives like popcorn without butter, fresh vegetables, and unsalted nuts. Use herbs and spices instead of salt to flavor your meals. Part 3. How to protect your heart. Now that we know which foods to avoid, here are some tips to protect your heart. Eat a heart-healthy diet that includes fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. Limit fried foods, processed meats, and sugary drinks. Replace unhealthy fats with healthy fats from olive oil, avocados, and nuts. Exercise regularly to improve heart function and reduce the risk of heart disease. Stay hydrated and opt for whole foods over processed options. There you have it, the top 5 worst foods for your heart. By making small changes to your diet and lifestyle, you can help protect your heart and reduce your risk of heart disease, stroke, and other cardiovascular issues. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more heart health tips. And leave a comment below. Which changes will you make to protect your heart? Let us know.